Hello guys and welcome to News with Block on the 30th of November 2021. Welcome to the home of all of your crypto news and market analysis and mucho speculation. First of all, this video is brought to you by Mizar, the next generation in smart trade platform. Head on over here to use it for everything from copy trading, bot trading, from DCA bots, swing bots, and also for your own smart trade platforms. So many cool features. Visit www.mizar.ai to register your interest now and don't miss out on the launch of it come December. Now be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can keep up to date with all of our latest content, from news like this and also tutorials as well. But I know you're here for the crypto, so let's dive into that. What is hot and what is not right now? Well, no surprise, the top 10. Bitcoin, the granddaddy of them all, sits at number 1. Current price at $58,282. We weren't probably expecting that at the start of the day. It's a rise of 2.18% in the past 24 and 1.87% in the past 7 days. The market cap is currently sitting at $1.114 trillion, which is pretty huge. Number 2 is Ethereum at $4,668.30, with a big rise of 7.99% in the past 24 and 8.53% in the past 7 days. A current market cap of $559 billion. And number 3 is Binance Coin, BNB, with a price of $627.68. A very humble 1.7% rise today, with a big jump of 5.6% over the past 7 days at $105 billion market cap. In 4th is Tether, USDT. In 5th, Solana. In 6th, we've got Cardano, ADA. And in 7th, we have XRP. 8th, USDC coin. In 9th, Polkadot. And in 10th, everybody's favorite meme coin, Dogecoin. So let's jump straight into the Bitcoin price. We have seen quite some movement today. And this is just in from... this is just in our first ETF mention of the day and of the new News with Block series. I'm not going to deep dive too much into this, but Bitcoin ETF launched in Canada to pay investors a monthly yield. Very exciting stuff. Now, my opinion is that until we see a spot ETF in the US, then this is kind of harkening to a little bit of old news. Everything seems to be an ETF here, there, and everywhere. What we want to see is a spot ETF, like I said. Come on, Gary Gensler, pull your finger out. Stop rubbing all your Wall Street buddies' backs and letting them manipulate all of this futures ETF prices for Bitcoin. Give us that spot, please, so it is physically backed. Well, not physically, but you know what I mean. However, the more expected news to actually have helped pump Bitcoin price is India refutes private crypto ban. There's a lot of speculation around what was actually going on with the whole India cryptocurrency ban, if you will. It's not necessarily a ban. It was regulation, as expected with most countries. However, Subhash Garg, India's former finance secretary, goes on to say to claim that private cryptocurrencies will be banned is misleading. Simple as that, really. It's just a one-line statement, but we can dive a little bit further into it if you so fancy. Because recent parliamentary debates on contentious crypto law appear to have stoked worries of a cryptocurrency ban despite no clear indication of the ban's breadth. Cryptocurrency prices in India plummeted after Parliament announced that it would introduce and list 26 new bills in the winter session, including cryptocurrency and regulation of official digital currency bill 2021. This is huge. I mean, India is no doubt a massive population, and even a minuscule percentage of that population buying into crypto, into Bitcoin, is going to have a huge shift on the paradigm of Bitcoin and its price. So, hey, we are all for this, and that is great news to come out of it. But let's have a little look into the Bitcoin price. Now, we are seeing some interesting movement. We had a fantastic day. In fact, we have risen and touched almost a 4.62% rise and a high today of 59,145. What we wanted to really see, what I wanted to really see, is a confirmation of a hold above the 20 DMA, which is this green line here, and the 50 DEMA, which is this blue line here. Because we are, as covered in my News with Block video yesterday, we are seeing that we are coming to the tail end of this descending wedge. As we saw, we broke out here on the 28th, which is great news, assuming that all these trend lines are very well drawn, which I am relatively confident in these retests that we've seen just here. We thought we were going to go for it again on the 29th, and we crashed back down to the trend line. However, it was a nice confirmation here that we bounced and we have gone straight back up, but it is not great that we're just wrestling between this trend line and the 50 DMA, almost kind of creating this new, I'm not going to say bull flag it, but a descending wedge, if you will, but a broadening descending wedge, as you can see by this shape just here. And that's what I kind of mean by descending broadening wedge, where price just starts to get very volatile, as you know, we don't really know where it's going, let's be honest. But I think a lot of people expected this pump right here to be the one that was going to take us out. We've just had a BPT short printed on the Alpha Prime, which is quite a reliable signal, especially, well, it's quite a reliable signal full stop, but yes, on the 1 hour. So we will see where we go from this. Worst case scenario, we crash back through the trend line, which ultimately will probably drive us towards the 51, 52k region. But fear not, you know, it's not the end of the world if that happens, because it will actually still be kind of falling within this descending wedge, and we can see the tracking up towards, you know, that 60, 70, 80k before the end of 2021. Still very viable. It's if we drop below 51, 50k when we should start to get a little bit miserable and expect for a very, very, very cold, miserable winter with Bitcoin. But anyway, let's stay positive. I am not a bull, hardcore bull by any means. I'm here to make money. And you know, I'm relatively bearish short term at the moment, but long term, obviously, you know, Bitcoin is going up. So let's see how this plays out over the next 24 hours. Next on the docket is $31 million stolen from MEXC on the Polygon and Ethereum in latest DeFi hack. We've been here before, guys. Polygon and their hacks. The last hack went okay for them. They actually got all the money back, and they actually got an employee from it, which is pretty cool. So they've lost $31 million, which comprised of $18.2 million in wrapped Ethereum, $10.5 million in Matic, and other tokens were WBTC, Link, Ghost, Dirk, MIM, and IMX. They have reached out, but not yet had a statement back, so we will see how this gets resolved, whether they're going to come to a bit of a deal with these hackers like they have done before, and you've seen many times in ransomware attacks, or it is just going to be $31 million down the drain and a lot of bad PR again for Polygon. So we'll see what happens. But price-wise, it's not really affected that much. I think, you know, we've seen a little bit of a dump here, which is most likely because of the news. When I say a little bit, it's quite a large dump, actually. That's no, that's on the daily, I beg your pardon. That wouldn't have been relative to it. We'd have seen a bit of a dump just here, which I think would have been relative to news, still 10%. But it is going to be, like most high caps, it's going to be following the Bitcoin price. And everything being said, the actual chart for Matic is looking pretty good. If we take a very long-term look at where we are and where we're looking at, we're getting these new higher lows, and we're coming into the end of this end of this kind of symmetrical triangle. We are actually trading on the top side of the 20 DMA and 50 DMA. They are now support, which is great. Wholly, you know, we're still looking quite bullish. So we'll see whether we break out up here or we end up coming crashing back down to the region of around about $1.54, $1.55, let's say. And that's kind of what I'd advise, you know, hold Matic. You know, Matic is a great project. It's probably only going to go up. So let's see where it goes. You know, I'm not going to say, you know, this is not financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes only. But if I had to hazard a guess where we're looking, then stagger your buys down to around about $1. I'd say $1.50. Yeah, let's go to $1.50. If we lose that, then I think there's something larger at play. And then targets wise, you know, no brainer really. So just use your resistances here. Some very nice easy TPs, and then you can have a stretch TP up towards $3. You know, let's see where it goes. But again, Matic, good project, fun coin. This was just dropped only an hour ago. Under the hard work of NBS development team, we have determined to provide users a Web3 architecture wallet and successfully implemented the transplantation of the underlying graphene technology to the 64-bit ARM platform. It is the first milestone of the NBS Metaverse. Yes, there it is, the buzzword to end all buzzwords during this current quarter. So really, I think any coin can mention integration within the Metaverse right now and have a pretty good run, whether it's short-term or long-term, if they decide to follow through with all of their high-hoped promises. But with NBS, it is actually looking pretty good. We clearly saw a spike throughout the day of 16%, and this was very, very likely because of the news that's just been dropped. We are seeing a bit of a head and shoulders pattern here, coming right down from 0.02924, and then you see the left shoulder here bounced off the 20 DMA, not quite managed to break out. We break down and keep on this trend line just here, and we get back, most importantly, above the 20 DMA, and we start to rise again. So for that basis alone, I think you can start to accumulate NBS here. I'd buy it probably down to around about 0.02216, just here. And beyond that, like I said, similarly with Matic, I think there'll be something larger at play, like Bitcoin's crashing or something of that nature. If it starts to crash beyond that, so with those kind of case scenarios, hold your breath and try to just scope the bottom out. But accumulating from down here from, this price, which is 0.02548 down to 0.02216 is a nice little accumulation zone. And then take profits. It's quite obvious, really. They're almost marked on for you. Head on up to 0.028595, then the old all-time high. We see, interestingly, with MBS, we see a lot of these crazy spikes that pop up just out of nowhere. So it's kind of almost worth holding in that sense that you will probably just end up getting a pretty big pump out of nowhere of like 40%, and you can say, wham bam, thank you ma'am, see you later. But then again, also, if we're going into the metaverse in this capacity, then it could be worth holding a little bit longer term. Your call, guys. Again, not financial advice. Woohoo! Grayscale investment launches trust with exposure to Ethereum competitor Solana. We don't really need to go too much into this article to know what they're on about. So Grayscale are the biggest holders of Bitcoin in the world, and they are so hugely ingrained within the cryptocurrency sphere with money, So it is super important that any big projects, certainly within the top 10, are on these guys' radar. And Solana, with its trajectory, its cheaper fees, its scalability, its speed, arguably its reliability, we are seeing a potential, blow off top again here. And this is exactly what's needed, really. We need institutions, these big kind of financial whales coming in to be able to get access to it, really. There's going to be a lot of people scratching the door wanting to get Solana in their portfolios, and yeah, rightly so. So this is huge. This is absolutely huge. And I kind of foresee this being kind of moving Solana from that speculative ETH killer to a, hang on a minute, this could actually be a little bit more viable. So realistically, with where it's sitting at the moment, I think we saw it at about 4th or 5th. I can't remember in the market caps earlier on. Let's have a quick look. 5th, just behind USDT. It could well, puts it very viable place now to at least be catching up with BNB. I think it will flip USDT pretty soon. So see where it goes. But more from a price point standpoint, you can see my very crude trajectory there. I don't actually think it's going to go straight up from there. I do think there's going to be a heavier accumulation zone, which would be here. So I'd set your DCA buys somewhere, probably around about there. If we start to drop a little bit below this area here, then I would be a little bit more concerned about something larger at play. Again, I keep on saying that, but I think this could be a Bitcoin crash. This could be something of a hack, or something to do with security, anything of that nature. So I think if we lose this support, mainly because we have so much support around this 180 $180 region. You know, that's a psychological barrier as well, being 180. We do want to be careful there. So accumulate in this region here again. I think it's a great price to start getting in on it. We're not, I strongly doubt we'll be seeing this bull cycle dropping below 114 or even $100. By all means, set some buys there in case there's a epic black swan of whatever reason. But yeah, you know, where can this go? As I mentioned, you know, if we're going to be targeting those Ethereum realms and like looking at the actual market cap itself, Solana is currently sitting at where is it? 66 billion, where Ethereum's 10x that. So bear that in mind, guys. You know, if that's where Solana is targeting in an ideal world, aiming for $300 is nothing. We should really be aiming for $2,100 or something of that nature. But yeah, it's going to take a lot to get there. However, you know, now the institutions are in play with Solana, it could happen. So next one is a humble brag. SHIB is now listed on all top 10 major crypto exchanges with Kraken listing today. I did say yesterday, guys, you know, Hansa, you can't deny it. It's all there on tape that something is brewing with SHIB. We see these whales accumulating massive amounts. They know stuff that we don't. So we'll come into the end of this consolidation cycle right here. As you can quite clearly see, you don't have to be a crazy good trader to notice that there's a bit of consolidation going on there. So when we get to this point, we know something's going to happen. It's going to blast up or blast down. Now, SHIB will have a lot of these traders advising them when to drop this news, when to target these listings. They've got these whales who have magically bought the biggest bunch of bags, the biggest bags they've ever bought yesterday. And lo and behold, we get a listing for the final 10th major crypto exchange. And it pumps 35%, I think it was in the end. So we could start to see this being the SHIB trying to reclaim its crown as the lead meme coin. Who knows? Or it could just be a flash pump. Who knows? Who cares? If you got in like I did yesterday, then you'd be sitting quite happy on a good bit of short-term profit. Well, that pretty much summarizes today's news with Block, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know what's going on. And don't miss our Friday to Monday Twitch streams as well by this lovely gentleman, Mr. Reggie George, our resident pro trader. Drop all the questions you can and he'll give you some great analysis and a bit of shit as well. As always, guys, good things come to those who wait and great things come to those who hodl.